please subscribe and don't forget to press the bell icon to get notified whenever we upload a new video.
Hi there, good afternoon. You're watching Your Stocks. I'm Mangla Malu. With me is Sumaira Abdi. It's Friday, so we answer all queries coming in from our ladies viewers. So as we do that, just before that, we'll look at the markets. The Nifty as well as the Sensex, the frontline indices, basically, they have saved themselves from the morning blushes. However, what is surging is the Midcap index, up about 1% as we speak, 200 points on the Midcap index itself. And a couple of notable gainers are the auto stocks, the likes of M&M. We're getting some news come by on Maruti. They've commenced their fleet testing of electric vehicles. We will keep an eye out on that story as it develops as far as the electric vehicles are concerned. But in the broader markets, we have Motherson Sumi. That one has spiked about 5%, and most of that has come by after the company made that announcement as far as their bonus is concerned. So 1 share for every 2 shares is the bonus that they've announced. Hi, Sumaira.
Let's get started with answering all the queries coming in from our viewers. Sharmila Joshi and Prakash Gaba are our 2 experts for the afternoon. Good afternoon to both of you. Our first viewer is Mrs. Shivani Singh, who's written in to us from Lucknow. She says she has 100 shares of HEG, which she has bought at about 2750. She's been holding on for a month, and despite buying at 2700 levels, she is making a very, very tidy sum. She's a long-term investor and wants to know what she should do at these levels. So Sharmila, already her investment has close to doubled. Do you see more upside from here, or would you advise that at least for now she should take some money off the table?
I think that in that sense, the graphite story is still doing quite well. And yes, the stock has had a run up. So I don't think you're going to get the kind of returns that you got from, the level that she bought it at to the current level. But that said, I think that the story looks still okay for the next couple of years. So for me, the stock is a hold. You can check with Prakash for levels, but I think that I do see an upside even from current levels.
All right, you see an upside from current levels. Actually, this morning itself, we got the news that there was some Chinese import duty which was cancelled from India for HEG, and that stock was down 5%. Thereafter, we recalled the conversation that we had with the management a couple of weeks ago, and they said that the kind of graphite that they make is very different from the one that comes in from China, and which is why we are seeing that recovery on the stock and is absolutely flat. So, Prakash, fundamental or not, at any given point in time, wherever the stock dips about 4-5%, we see a swift recovery more often than not on the same day. Does that tell you something about the chart of that stock?
Well, chartically, when I look at the chart, it's a positive chart. The structure is positive. I've seen a beautiful consolidation between 2,500 and 3,500. Now, after this kind of consolidation, this breakout has come in. So even if what we have seen is a good up move beyond that. That's why she's making good money in the short run. If it dips also, I would say don't worry. Just continue to hold it for a long time. The dips would be a buying opportunity. Just hold for long term.
All right. Well, Mrs. Singh, I hope that works for you. Remain invested in this stock, but perhaps the kind of runaway rally that we have seen may not be coming, but certainly the stock could head higher. Lakshmi Singh has written to us from New Delhi. She has 2,000 shares in Equitas, which she has bought at close to 150 rupees, I think 148 to be exact. She's been holding on for 6 months, another long-term investor, and wants to know what she should do with it at this price. Prakash, your take, already close to 160. Could it go still higher?
I think yes, because Equitas has seen a good base formation closer to around 130 zones. So far it's seen up. And once it crosses 175, I think it's going to 190 zones. I won't worry about crossing 175. In fact, all dips in Equitas could be a buying opportunities. Only thing you need to do is have patience and hold for a while. I think you'll see 175, 185, 195 zones.
All right, Sharmila, fathom a guess on Equitas, because they call themselves a small bank, but a large part of their portfolio is microfinance.
So very honestly, they've been making that shift. They have always indicated that it's going to take them some time to shift from that microfinance to really change their book. And I think that now you're beginning to see it happen, because this quarter the numbers were really very good. So in fact, I quite like the stock at this level. So for me, even at 157, the stock continues to be a buy.
All right, stock continues to be a buy at 157 as well. Ria Singh writes to us from New Delhi, holds about 3,500 shares of NCC at 105 rupees for the last 5 months. A long-term investor wants to know whether to hold or sell. Well, this has been one of the most volatile stocks in recent times. She bought it about 5-6 months ago, still losing a fair amount because she holds a big quantity. What would you say about NCC?
For me, the stock is a hold. If you look at the kind of orders sort of that are lined up for the road space, then that gives you sort of a little more comfort and the kind of order book that they're already sitting on. So I think definitely, I think at least 105, 110 would be the sort of level that I would look at for this stock. So at this level, from me, the stock is a hold.
Prakash?
I think it's a hold to me, certainly, and I would say yes, it's a hold. Only thing is trading closer to supports, that I can say.
All right, up next, another viewer, Deepthi Gera is on the line with us. Hi, Deepthi, how can we help you?
Yeah, hi ma'am, how are you?
I'm good. Tell me, what's your question?
Okay. Ma'am, actually I'm holding around 33,000 Videocon stock. And day by day it's now going down and down, so I'm losing a huge amount in it. So I just want to know that whether it is to be hold or what. I don't know.
Well, Deepthi, I think the time to ask that question is actually long past. I mean,
yeah,
I feel bad for you. You're making quite a loss, actually, and a heavy loss on this.
Yeah.
When did you buy the stock?
I think in January.
In January. Okay,
Yes.
when the troubles were already actually just about beginning. But Sharmila, I'm not even going to ask you this question, but Prakash, she gets out now. Do you want to... I mean, that seems to be a no-brainer, but where can she make good at least some of her losses?
See, actually, she should have been out. If not, at least spend money on yourself, your family, burst crackers, at least you have some fun. You get nothing here. Just, I would say, exit and invest that money into Reliance.
All right. Deepthi, do you have any other stocks in your portfolio, or this is just one of the few stocks in your portfolio?
No, I have other stock also, Arcom.
Oh, you have
That is
Arcom.
also
We take
going
it.
down.
We take
You're
it.
losing. She's losing money in both Arcom and Videocon. What?
Yes.
Is this from your personal
please
savings?
do the same thing for Arcom also. Hope doesn't take the stock up. It's the demand that takes the stock up.
You're with your stocks, and for the market, it seems like it's just another bit of an uptick now. So the Midcap index really near the high is about 240 points higher. And we have queries coming through. Mrs. Sukanya has written to us from Chennai. She has 5 shares in Shree Cement, which she bought at 18,500 odd levels. She's been holding on for a year. She's a medium-term investor and wants to know what she should do. So the cement pack actually more or less has been doing okay, but I think her buy price was perhaps just too high. Prakash, now the stock is sub 18,000. How should she move from here?
Even if she sees 17,000, need nothing to worry, because when I look at the structure, it's positive. It's come down from the levels of 20,000 to 15,000. That's a reactive move down, which basically means it has come down, but come down to go up. So nothing to worry. Continue holding it. Sooner or later, it will cross 20,000. When that happens, then you should have a target of 25,000. That would be a medium term to long term, I would say that. Continue holding it. Don't worry. If it comes on 70,000, add more if you wish to.
All right, continue holding it. Do not worry. Sharmila, a view on Shree Cement. While the stock has not done much over the last 1 year odd, in the last 5-10 years, maybe a little more than that, it's been a mega wealth creator.
Absolutely, and I think that for cement sector, probably from Q3 onwards, we can expect better things. And this is not the best quarter for cement as a pack. But that said, I think now we are going to get into a period where you're going to see a lot more pickup in infrastructure as a space and lot more spending coming there. And let's not forget that we are also sitting on very good GDP numbers. The reason I mentioned GDP is that this is cement as a sector is in direct correlation to GDP numbers. So if you see an overall pickup in investment and money coming to the infra space, you are going to see a pickup in cement. And the negatives are now, I think, in the price, whether it is the raw material prices, what happened with pet coke, etc. So yes, I would agree with Prakash that you should continue to hold the stock and give it some time, I think, entire cement and even Shree Cement.
All right, entire cement pack should do well once the rains subside. With that, we move on to the next query. Mrs. Uma Kulkarni, rice roast from Karnataka, holds 10 shares of Crisil at 2,000 rupees for the last 1 year and is a long-term investor, wants to know whether to hold or sell. Prakash, what would you say on Crisil? How does the chart look?
But the chart is not very comforting from the short-term angle. But if you look at the long-term chart, it's certainly good. It's trading at a support now. I think just continue holding it. Very strong support in the vicinity of 17,000. So I don't think it's breaking that. Continue holding it. There is some resistance around 2,000. If you want to exit closer to that, exit. But to me, I think the long-term still looks okay to me.
All right, up next we have Mrs. Tultul Chakrabarti, who's written to us from Kolkata. She has 1,000 shares in Motherson Sumi at 330 rupees for a year, since a year. She's a long-term investor and wants to know what she should do. So incidentally, the company is completing 25 years. They've announced a bonus issue as well. Sharmila, for a long-term investor, is there any cause to worry, or should she just remain invested?
It's a stock I like, and I think that, what we've heard from the management in terms of their strategy, as well as, the kind of buys they have made and how they've integrated it. They did have a whole issue with that whole Volkswagen thing, which took its toll on the stock price, and even I think the recent, this trade wars, etc., have sort of dampened the spirit on the stock. But I think that, the management quality is very good. What they're trying to do in terms of their acquisitions and product line and their vision for their revenue growth, etc., is very clear and very well put out. So for me, this is a stock to hold. So I think in the sense, I'm not giving it a time horizon, but this is a stock for the portfolio.
All right, a stock for the portfolio. With that, we move on to another one. Shamu Dayal writes to us from Uttar Pradesh. She holds 60 shares of Reliance at 912 rupees for the last 10 months. She is a long-term investor, wants to know whether to hold or sell. Prakash, Sharmila called Motherson Sumi a stock for the portfolio. Would you use the same for Reliance?
Absolutely. In fact, he's bought at a good price. Just continue holding it, close your eyes and forget it. Because when I look at the chart, it's come out of a very long consolidation of 8 years on a higher time frame basis. It's not stopping. It's going up. So continue. The first target that I see is around 1,500 zones. I think it's going beyond that. So hold on.
Okay, so 1,500 plus on Reliance. Sharmila, you concur? Remain invested and forget about it?
Oh, yes, absolutely. I think that what we've known for a long time is the fact that their core business is doing well, and we've seen, good GRM margins. We've seen that capex that they did, and now we are seeing that translate into better profits, etc. But I think what I really like is the fact that, around this, when they announced the numbers this time round, the whole geos piece was spoken about in a very positive manner. And also, I think finally the retail is also coming into its own. And, I think for me, that's the most positive thing, because for a very long time, we've waited for other businesses to contribute significantly. So yes, I think it's a definite hold.
Yeah, the retail business, it also gets higher valuations than the other businesses that they have, despite the lot of cash that the other businesses generate. But that's as far as Reliance is concerned, and standard disclosure, of course, that Reliance owns Network 18 and TV18, the companies that run the channel that you are watching. With that, we move on to a CNBC TV18 exclusive. My colleague Utkarsh Chaturvedi caught up with Baba Kalyani, who's the MD at Bharat Forge, from the sidelines of the Global Mobility Summit currently underway in New Delhi. He began by asking him whether the Prime Minister's speech at the summit has delivered a clear policy roadmap for electric vehicles, for which the industry has been looking for a long time. Listen in.
He has challenged the industry to come up and bring in innovations and bring in new products, new technologies. And I think the real crux of that speech, and when I was talking to some of my friends from abroad who are here, is that this creates a very level playing field opportunity for India to leapfrog in an industry that doesn't exist in too many places. And we can create our own, let's say, level. And if we do it well, we can become highly competitive, like we are in other industries, and probably be the supplier to the world.
But does that answer the questions of clear policy roadmap which the industry has been looking for a long time?
Yeah, but that's what he said, that very soon the policy, a clear-cut, unambiguous, transparent policy will come out. So,
what is the expectations from the industry?
Well, this industry, when you're making a change, has to be driven by regulation. So they have to bring the regulations out. What is the regulation? Like, there is a vehicle regulation today. All right, so for electric vehicle, there is no regulation as of now. So you need a framework. Just like हम बोलते हैं 7-seater होनी चाहिए, 10-seater होनी चाहिए, or it has to be X, Y, Z. So you need a regulation. What voltage would you operate your EV at? What power, speed, all those kind of things have to come, because somebody has to. You make a vehicle, somebody has to approve it, not pass it.
Last couple of questions from my side. Speaking of the current situation where the crude prices are, does that worry the industry a bit? The way where the crude prices are at this point of time?
No, I don't think. I think we have seen crude prices at $120 a barrel. We are only at 80, so
And that export, ends up being a natural hedge for companies like you, sir.
Exactly. Exactly.